There's a number of key things that we've noticed coming in the report. The first of which is the year of 2015, we've learned nothing as an industry about patch management. So the bad guys are still exploiting well-known vulnerabilities in software. So we need to get much smarter. Security practitioners need to learn to patch things quicker and faster. As we already know from the Ponemon report, the bad guys are inside organisations for more than 243 days before you even know about it on average, and it takes a further 45 to 60 days to remediate. So if you patch, you're obviously going to be addressing those vulnerabilities much quicker. I also believe we need to challenge our software vendors to become much more transparent about their patches and give it much easier and much more detailed information, so organisations and security professionals feel more confident about the patch and how to apply it, so then they will ultimately patch quicker. The second area that we're seeing a trend is the monetisation of malware. So traditionally the bad guys were hacking organisations to disrupt. We're now seeing a big shift to the monetisation. They're beginning to specialise. It's become a market and a business for them. So we're starting to see malware attacking ATMs, ultimately after stealing money or stealing people's credit card details or even personal information, with a mixture of both social engineering techniques but also some technology as well to do that. So the third area that I'm seeing is the bad guys are moving away from the traditional perimeter. So, you know, traditionally you used to build a big wall around your organisation, keep all your information inside. So that's nothing new, but what we are seeing them is moving towards the application and really now beginning to attack the app and the content. You know, so no longer is the perimeter your firewall. It's now anywhere. Often it's in your pocket, in your mobile phone. So we need to start to protect ourselves by focusing on the interactions between users, apps and the data. I think that's the real place you need to focus rather than just focusing on the endpoint. I think the first thing is think about security by design. You know, often I've talked about security being an afterthought in organisations, and I think often that becomes because it's left to IT and security, and it's, you know, we've got this new service or solution, now go and lock it down. I think that's the wrong approach. We really need to build security in. So security by design, focus on business outcomes. So less about the products and the features, but more about how we can enable our business and how security can help contribute to that business. The second area I think is really important is building a security culture into your application development. So developers are very, very good at making things faster, quicker, cheaper on any platform, whether it be iOS, Windows, Android, and then they forget about security. And that's often because they don't want to be criticised for poor coding practice. So if you build a culture where vulnerability assessment is part of that process, and not only do you just say something's wrong, but actually this is where the vulnerability is, this is the impact of your business, you can really build good software quicker to the market, release it faster, but not having to then pull it back down. So, you know, the consumer is then protected. I think 2016, from my view, will be the year of critical national infrastructure breaches and attacks. The bad guys now are yes, commoditizing and they're monetizing, but they're also looking for maximum disruption. And if you think about, whether it be power or water, they're weaponizing now security to enable them to put across their political views. So that might be one area. The other area I think that's going to be really interesting to watch from a security standpoint is education. We use lots of educational universities to help us with big data, to help us analyse information as a corporation. But what we tend to find is those areas aren't really spending and investing in security. So they're very good at sharing and collaborating, but not great at locking that really critical information that they might hold, you know, in their data warehouses. Lots of people talk about big data. They talk about the data lake. I think we should really focus on the data puddle, that critical information which is important to protect. And I think that, you know, if we don't help education to protect their critical sensitive data, we could be exposed. And then the final two is clearly the internet of theft, or the internet of threat. You know, as connected devices continue to proliferate, Gartner say, I think it was 25 billion devices by 2020. All of these connected things, whether they be in the medical side, you know, as pacemakers or pumps, or even the doctor's records on tablets, we need to make sure that we protect that critical and sensitive information. And then the final one, obviously, is really technology businesses. You know, other bad guys starting to now go after technology businesses which hold lots of information. We need to get much smarter. We need to be much more transparent about the vulnerabilities that we have in our hardware and our software.